Hello and welcome. Oh, I should have tested myself first. Hi everybody. Welcome.
Make sure you're not muted either.
Me? Oh, I'm not muted. Not currently. I'm gonna fix myself here real quick. Just talking out loud like so. Anyways, welcome to Dungeon Mechanics. Tales of Diademia today. It's been like over a month. I feel like it's been over a month. It's been a minute. But yeah, welcome to Dungeon Mechanics, where it's only dumb if it's not working. No, that's not the one I should have picked. Okay,
Maybe
well,
I like that one.
And with that, that's the end of the episode, guys. Good
that's
job,
the
good
whole
run.
thing. My
Good
job
run.
is done. Welcome everybody. We're gonna get started here shortly. First, I want to do a couple of shout outs. Thank you, the Lady Liv. Oh, I pointed in the right direction this time. Woo! As well as Nordic, aiming down that way for the subscriptions. Furthermore, about subscriptions, for those of you that do not know, if you have a subscription to either Dungeon Mechanics, Queen Corvy, FNH Paul, Superdog 18, the Lady Liv, myself, Judge EDM, the list continues. If you have a subscription through any of us lovely folks at Dungeon Mechanics, you get what's called luck and inspiration that you can give out to the players or myself. But you should probably give it to the players because they're gonna need it. A luck is a free re-roll. Yeah, no one ever likes it when the DM's like, I don't need luck and inspo. The players do. They really do. A luck is a free roll that can be used to either allow the player who has it to re-roll one of theirs, or they can contest one of mine. If they don't like me rolling nat 20s every, second, just like nat 20, crit. Anyways, inspiration is an added d6 to a roll that can be used for everything except for damage, because that would be a little bit broken. I'll do 700 damage against this rat creature real quick, and I'm just like, and we're done. But without further ado, we also have a couple of sponsors that we need to say thank you to. The first one is Plus One Crafting. Plus One Crafting does all of our terrains here, which we don't have any sessions currently that do any terrains because we're still getting those terrains. But when we do, Plus One Crafting is going to be the ones responsible for it. So if you haven't already, head over to Plus One Crafting, see what they have in store. They have a lot of stuff. The detail in it is really, really good. You get your bang for your buck, essentially. Remember, adventure shouldn't cost a fortune because we all want to play Dungeons and Dragons. We just don't want to pay like buku's amount of money to play Dungeons and Dragons. So head on over to Plus One Crafting. They'll get you all set up. Our next sponsor is the Barkley Garage. My buddy Barkley over at the Barkley Garage does a lot of different woodworkings. He is going to be responsible for our custom created dungeon mechanics dice rolling towers, which we are going to start working on here after Thanksgiving. Basically, the entire cast will eventually get a custom dungeon tower dice roller thingy that has Dungeon Mechanics logos on it and other things, and it's gonna be great because who doesn't want a cool custom made dungeon dice tower? I mean, I do. So if you like things like that, I mean, he also makes other woodworking things. Just don't ask him to make any more cornhole boards because like he's done with that. I told him to do like cornhole board season. That way it's like back by popular demand. That way he's not doing them all. Anyways, just head on over to the Barkley Garage, see what's up, see if you like it, and put in your orders. Also, we have our final sponsor today, Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound will be responsible for all the lovely songs that you have been hearing today so far, which I think it's only on the title screen currently, but I'll get some music started here shortly once we set the scene. But yes, they provide a large array of music. If you know, like, the type of song that you want, they probably got it in their database somewhere. Once you subscribe with Epidemic Sound, you can use this music through all your different social media accounts, such as YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and the other ones that I can't think of right now. But yeah, it got you covered. You won't get any like bans of saying this music's copywritten. Just pick from the list, stay subscribed, and play to your heart's content. That being said, welcome. Happy Saturday.
No, it's definitely Monday.
What? No, it's definitely not Monday.
It's Monday.
I totally did a sound check with everybody. I did it. And there's still lines showing up. I'm done with the whole thing.
Listen, don't put that Monday evil on us, Ricky Bobby, okay?
Well, so without further ado, does anybody remember what happened in the last episode of Dungeon Mechanics? Anybody?
Well, Bombast almost turned to a mind flare.
I mean,
yes. So
why you gotta come at my boy Bombast like that?
I mean, like, because
You
I
all
already
made
had to
the
fucking
check. You
turn
just
around
rolled
and be
the
like,
lowest.
Bombast, no! And yank that motherfucking tadpole out of his eye, like, yeet!
Okay, this is really out of context. So essentially, our heroes arrived at Fort Demon Crest. From there, they came across a young gnome, well, older gnome, that was named Bombast. He showed them to where they would be able to find Calamar's shop. And once they arrived, they found out Calamar wasn't there. He was taken by some mind flayers, said his assistant, Mirror the Satyr. So after they did a bunch of stuff and they figured out where he was, they were able to travel to this mind flayer dimension, which is in a realm that has not been identified currently. But it does seem to be around a bunch of non existent, like matter. They're kind of floating in an ethereum of open space. Once they made their way onto the ship, they almost got eaten by a creature, and then they like hid, and then they almost got eaten by like another creature, and then they like didn't move and the doors closed, and then they almost got turned into mind flayers by jumping tadpoles, but they dodged those as well. Apparently people who come onto mind flayer ships aren't really welcome. So they made their way down, found another avenue that had a bunch of different pods and things where a bunch of people were kind of in a stasis type form, making their way down further because that's not their business right now. They're trying to find Calamar. They come down a long hall and get chased by these black orbs, and they make it to the end of the hall right before they get there. And once they're inside, they come up across this other kind of like more eccentric capsule with a much asleep Calamar. And as they gather around, his eyes open up and they're like black voids. And he looks at them. And that's where we're starting. What would you all like to do? Calamar's still in this pod. The only thing is that his eyes open. And they're completely black.
Are his eyes supposed to look like that?
I forget. Do I have previous contact with Calamar to know what he looks like?
No, because the rune, or however he allowed the shop to be like linked to Demon's Crest, was a recent thing, and it was more or less to get Orgy and Artis back to that place that they went to. That was all elvish and stuff.
I don't know. He's your friend.
I don't remember him, his eyes looking like that last time we seen him.
Adalri's gonna cautiously approach the pod. Calamar, can you hear me? As she's slowly, cautiously approaching the pod.
Make a dexterity save.
Can we not do that, DM?
Come on, first roll. It's easy.
Can we not do this? Never mind. Nat 20 for a 25.
Nice. So you managed to catch your footing and like take a step back as this capsule kind of like hisses and opens up, and before you it's just Calamar in this resting state. His eyes are still open, but he doesn't seem to be making any other movements aside from that.
Right. She's gonna like turn back to Bombast and Dargo. I don't think he's quite conscious, despite his eyes being open. Dargo, you want to try to help me get him out of here?
Are we sure we want to do that?
Well, we have to get him out of here one way or another.
What if it's not really him?
Why wouldn't it be him?
Do you, Dargo says, looking to Bombast, do you know what brand new mind flayers look like? Does he look like one?
Never met a mind flayer.
You just had all this knowledge about them. I figured it wouldn't matter.
Well, I mean, you can read about it, you can hear about it, but it's not like you actually stand before one and see what they look like. Anatomy class was never my specialty. It's more like How do
Argo,
blow
you are
things up?
talking to the person who ate. Because he had like that mind
Sorry.
spot.
Dargo just rubs his forehead. You're right. What am I doing? And then just moves forward to help Aldare get Calamar out of his pod.
Nice. So, you are able to get him out without much effort. His body is somewhat limp as you kind of like ease him out of this capsule, Dargo. As you do this, you feel kind of, you know that feeling when you stand up too fast and you get like a rush to the head?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that, except you haven't stood up fast. You just picked up someone. And as that tingling sensation like subsides, Calamar starts to stir a bit in your arms.
Dargo is gonna just reach up and gently start tapping him on the face. Wake up, Calamar. Come back to us. Come on.
While this is going on, Bombast is going to start pulling out different mechanical tubes and screwing them together.
Okay. Because I forgot to look. Luck to Adalray, inspo to Dargo. Luck to Dargo, inspo to Carcel. Is that how you pronounce it? Okay. Luck to Carcel, inspo to Bumbas. Luck to Carcel, inspo to Dargo. I think that's all of them so far. I'm sorry, I completely missed that last part. What did you say you were doing, Bumbast?
He's pulling out various like tubes and mechanical objects and basically putting things together.
Oh, okay. And as you like tap on his head, Dargo, he kind of stirs a bit and scrunches. Oh, what happened?
Well, all that we know, Calamar, is that your shop was infiltrated by mind flayers, and they captured you. I don't know what they've done, what they did to you, but we infiltrated their ship and are currently in the process of rescuing you.
Oh.
We just removed you from one of their pods.
Can you help me to my feet, please?
Of course. Dargo helps him to his feet.
So you help this tiefling get up, and his eyes, you watch as the blackness kind of like starts to slowly fade until his normal demonic tiefling eyes appear. And he looks at all of you. Right. I just had a series of visions, I believe, in my mind.
Why your
Kind of
eyes
visions.
turned black?
I don't know exactly. I was in my shop, and then they brought me here and put me in there, actually. But it was quite strange. There was this other tiefling woman there. Don't know if I know who she is. But she seemed quite familiar. Right, well, it's safe to say it's not safe to stay here much longer.
Right, we should probably try to make our way out of here. Especially with that creature still lurking around.
Creature.
Does anybody remember the way back?
I'm gonna roll
There's
history.
History check?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, this is about to go south real quick.
DM, you're not. My dice be a little hot today. So it's a nat 20 for 22.
Dang.
I got a
Okay.
10.
You remember that y'all came down this long hallway to this room? So you probably need to go that way to go back out. And then there's also those other rooms that y'all are in that you might have to navigate around because of those creatures that are lurking about.
Okay, so yeah, Adalre kind of nods. I do recall a bit of which way we came from. We're gonna have to be quick though. We don't know where that creature could be, or hell, if it's even tracking us right now.
I believe there is a quicker way. I can plane shift us.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Hold on, Bombast. Calamar, are you sure you're strong enough?
Well, I've done it quite a few times. Shouldn't be too difficult to just transport the four of us.
Yeah,
It
what's the
is.
worst that can happen?
I understand that, but you just recovered and woke up from whatever you were in, whatever sleep or whatever they did to you. Are you sure you are strong enough in this instance to do so?
Well, it's either that or we try and make our way back and encounter things where we find out in a much more difficult state if I'm strong enough.
If Kalima believes he is strong enough, then that's fine with me. Let's just get out of here.
I'm good with it. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm going to cast guidance before Calamar does anything.
So in this particular case, I need everyone to make a charisma save. Oh no. What's wrong, Bombast? You're not charismatic?
Wait, is this magic?
Yes.
Sweet.
21 for the charisma save.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
9.
You have luck, Dargo, right?
You
have luck, Dargo, right?
I have 1 luck.
Oh gosh!
I might need it later.
Oh my goodness.
I got 9 with advantage.
Well, Dargo, it was nice. No, and Bombast, it was nice knowing y'all.
So in this moment, you feel this kind of weird energy circulating around each of you. And also in that moment, you hear something approaching the room that you all are in. And as Calamar is kind of focusing, your attentions kind of peak. And there's something else there. Ooh, I'll do that one. And as Calamar is focusing, it kind of becomes aware to you all that something's wrong, but you can't put your finger on it. And right before the four of you vanish in that space, the doors to that room open up, and you see a very large mind flayer kind of dip down to step into this opening, much larger than your typical mind flayer would be. And right as your stomach starts to sink, you all vanish in that moment and reappear back in Calamar's shop.
Did all of you
Dargo's-
see that? What the hells was that?
like a big mind flayer. And then Dargo's gonna look over to Calamar. Calamar, is there any way you can protect your shop from anyone else from plane shifting in, so that we can maybe prevent mind flayers from showing back up and not redoing this whole situation?
I can work on some wards. Here in a bit. Is everyone all right?
As far as I know, yes.
I'm good, yeah.
And he kind of like starts to move through the shop. He's grabbing onto a couple of things, and he stops just short as you all see Mirror standing there. And he seems a little bit anxious, and he looks up at all of you. We have a visitor. I told her to drink some tea in the other room. Would you like to meet her?
We or Calamar
Well,
has a visitor?
Calamar probably knows her, I'm sure. He's quite famous like that. But, it might be good if you all meet her as well. While, Master Calamar, prepares, the runes.
Does she have tentacles?
No, I mean,
Okay, then fine.
don't think she does. And he kind of like saunters into this other room. He leads you into this large kind of lounge area, and you stand there and see this white tabaxi kind of sat there. There's a set of tea in front of her. She kind of has like the cup and the saucer in her hand, and she watches you all enter.
She'd also be fidgeting with a little like ball of yarn in her other hand.
It's a kitty.
Another cat. Lovely.
Adare kind of just like
You had
nudges
more?
Dargo, like knock it off. And Adare will kind of step forward. Greetings. There. Are you here to see Calamar?
Oh yes. I had some things to ask him about certain thing that I'm looking for, but hi, I'm Carcel.
She kind of bows slightly. Adalre. Pleasure to meet you.
Yes, yes. Very nice. Very nice to meet you.
I'm
May we
Dargo.
sit?
Oh, of course.
Little
Adalre will take a
gnome.
seat.
Waves his hand. It's like, I'm boom bust.
Oh, look at you. You're cute. I like you.
The kitty likes me.
Dargo just started rubbing his head like, God damn it. God damn it.
Breathe, Dargo. Adalre says as she pours herself a cup of tea and just starts drinking.
Luck to Adalre, inspo to Carcel. Negative
Yay!
luck to Corby and inspiration to DM.
Why do I feel that's Tina?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that's how it works, Tina, but nice try.
You can maybe say luck to the DM only to be used against Corey. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Rude.
So,
Well, I hope you haven't been waiting long, Carcel.
Well, I mean, I can keep myself busy. No, it hasn't been too long.
Well, hopefully Kalama will be in shortly.
Luck
Oh, it's
to
easier
Dargo,
readings.
inspo to Bombast. As y'all are in that room, Mirror kind of goes over to get more cups and makes his way back over to all of you and carefully hands you all a saucer and a cup. There's tea for you all as well. It's a bit of calamar tea, so you should all enjoy it. It's very tasty, actually.
Really good. Mirror did a good job.
We'll see.
Valerie will start
And
sipping tea.
I could use something that
Dargo
knocks the
helps
taste out of my
himself
mouth.
to
Um,
So what were you guys up to?
we were just saving Calamar
Oh,
from mind flames.
if I had known, I would have tried to help. Oh my goodness. Is he okay?
Yes.
As far as we know, yes.
Okay. Well, guess that's all we can hope for, right?
I can hope for a lot.
you all hear footsteps approaching as Calamar enters the room. He seems to look a bit better, not as tired as you all previously saw. And he looks to the lot of you. Ah, right. Well, first things first, thank you all for saving me back there.
Yes, you're very welcome, Calamar. Just don't let it happen again, please.
I will try my best to not let that happen again, actually. But not that I'm not grateful. Was there a reason that you all came here? I'm sure it wasn't to save me.
What was the reason we came here?
To drop
I
off
can't
your
remember
magical
either.
weapons!
I know why I came here.
You got magical weapons that you want to keep safe?
Right!
Oh my gosh, it's been a long time, folks. It's been a hot minute.
Well, Adalre will kind of just set her cup of tea down on the coffee table that's like in front of them. Yes, actually. We were wondering if you could keep our magical weapons safe for us.
Oh. That's all. Luck to Carcel and inspo to Dargo. Yes, I could do that actually. Has Mira showed you the safe, the chest over there?
Yes, actually. We've already put our magical weapons in there.
Oh. Well. I feel like I need to do something else.
Why do you need to leave your magical weapons here?
We're in search of somebody who can trace magical items. We don't want them knowing that we're coming.
Okay.
Kalama, I am rather curious. The visions you had.
Ah, yes.
What exactly did you see in those visions?
I was in somewhat of a hellish realm, much undifferent to here. And I saw a woman, red-skinned like myself, long dark hair, and she was sat on some type of throne there. But the throne was quite interesting. There was hellfire chains kind of interlaced around it. And beneath her were imps and demons alike. But while I was there, she looked at me, as if she knew me. But I don't think I've ever seen her before.
Rather odd. Who knows? Maybe she does know you.
Perhaps. But that is for another day. Come now, well, is there
And that was all the visions you saw.
I do you all a service to keep out the torture. My stay there wasn't exactly a pleasant one.
I would imagine not.
However, is there a reason that you all are... Not that I, wouldn't allow, but is there a reason you all don't, your magical items? You said there's a man who can track them.
Yes.
Is your intent to find this man?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, do you need assistance, or...
If you can offer any assistance, that would be greatly appreciated, Kalama.
Yes, well, are there any descriptors for him?
Are you familiar with Oem?
I've met him once or twice.
He is the man we're searching
That's
for.
him.
Right. OM is a interesting sort. A fallen Asimar. His claim to power is fleeting, but with purpose. Do you all... Do you all intend to find him, preferably soon?
Yes.
The sooner
Preferably.
the better.
This guy, a bad guy. I don't really know what's going on here. So,
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Carcel. He is a lawful evil entity. He shares a body with a similar appearance sort who is chaotic good by nature. But if he's back, it probably isn't for good reason.
Well, like we said, Kalamar, the sooner we can find him, the better. He has something that we need.
Right, well, I will begin a bit of magic and see if I can find a trace for this man. But you all enjoy yourselves. Let Mira know if there's anything we can do for you.
Could we have some more tea?
Sure. And he kind of waves his hand, and the cup, the cap of it opens, and this ethereal tea appears out of nowhere and kind of fills it back up, and the cap like sets back down on it. You were saying something, Carcel?
Yes. Can I talk to you? Like,
Yes, of course. And he kind of walks over with you over to like the corner of the room.
okay. So, I heard about this this sword. It's called the Holy Avenger. Someone was telling me about it, and I was wondering if you knew anything about where I might be able to find that or start finding clues about it. I think it would really help.
Yes and no. The Holy Avenger series of weapons are very rare, actually. There's only a few of them by name. Typically, they're held by high members of clergy or those with paladin stint, as well as beings, deities, if you will, of higher power. They have also been known to create such items. Is there a particular reason this one has caught your interest?
Well, it's only paladins, huh? Oh.
Well,
They failed to mention that.
it tends to be, yes.
I was just looking for something to help me, like, do more good in the world. And, I said that some of them can be made into rapiers, and it's kind of what I like to use. So, fair enough. Okay. Well, in the meantime, I'd like to help these folks. This sounds like a bad guy has taken over a good person, and I don't like that.
Yes. I will begin the tracer and see if I can find more information about him.
Okay.
I don't feel good about sending you all in blind.
Okay. Well, so, I guess any magical items we need to leave behind? Is that what I heard from them?
Potentially. I think. Well, you can ask them, but I think the reason they are leaving theirs here is because, this Oem fellow probably is already under the assumption that they possess them.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And she'll kind of go walk back into the other room with the others. If I could, I was wondering if I could help you guys with whatever it is you're doing, 'cause it sounds like a really good cause. And
Well, the more the merrier, I guess.
Sweet.
You
I
all
see no issues.
have noticed that Orgy's kind of like not there currently. But he was there before y'all left.
Mira,
Yes.
where did Orgy go?
So he left, but don't be mad. He went away, even though he was supposed to watch your bodies while they were devoid of your consciousness. But luckily, when Calamar brought you all back, your bodies kind of rematerialized in a way. It was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. So
Sounds
you let
typical of
Orgy leave.
Yes. He said he was tired of waiting. I don't know what that means.
Right. Like, she has this calm demeanor, but Mira can see the anger in her, that hint of flaming anger in her eyes as she's looking at him.
I did do everything in my power to make sure he didn't leave, but, he's a very large tabaxi man.
Mm-hmm. Of
Dargo,
course.
Dargo puts a hand on Adare's shoulder. Look, I kicked that punk through a door. You think he's gonna be able to stop Orgy?
Perhaps not. But yet again, Orgy was in charge of making sure that our bodies would be all right while our subconscious was not in them.
Yes. Well, unfortunately,
I do not
Orgy-
take that kindly.
Orgy only cares for Orgy, so I agree.
Well, that's going to be the death
with
of
you.
him someday. Inexcusable.
Fair enough.
And Adalri's just gonna go sit back down on the chair and drink her tea.
Awkward.
Dargo's gonna go over to Carcel. So, Carcel, what brings you here?
Oh,
If you don't mind me asking.
yeah.
Adalri's just gonna be listening in as she drinks her tea.
There was a weapon that I'd heard, but I was kind of misinformed about it, and I was asking Calamar about where to find it, but like that's kind of a moot point at this point.
What
So,
weapon exactly are you in searching for?
well, it was a Holy Avenger, but I I didn't realize it was mainly used by paladins, and
Would Adalri know what she's
One of
talking
those.
about?
Or Dargo.
Do a religion check.
Probably not, considering Adalri is from the Feywild. I don't know.
Dargo's been around. Oh my god. Never mind.
That's a yeah, that's a 9.
It doesn't register anything when you hear it. Like hearing Holy Avenger and hearing that mostly paladins use it kind of makes sense in your mind, but you haven't actually seen or heard of any of them.
Sounds like an interesting weapon.
I just have this real aversion to undead and things like that, and I was trying to find something that would help get rid of things of that nature. So
Staying away from graveyards would be a good step.
well, that's the thing. I don't necessarily aim to stay away from them. I just aim to try to make sure they don't hurt anyone. So if I have to put myself in that position to prevent them from hurting others. that's kinda
Most of
where
the
my
things
mind's at.
there are dead already. I don't think they'll be hurt.
She's talking
It's the
about people
undead.
who are alive still. Bombast.
Oh,
Like they were dead before, but then they're not dead, but still kind of dead. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
well, I mean, I understand undead, but mostly in a graveyard, it's going to be dead. And if
Until
there's
they're
any
not.
undead, then there's dead. They're not really going to care because one's just dead.
Adalri just shakes her head and sips her tea.
kind of
She
looks up.
she
and
does.
She's like trying to process all this in her brain, and like you just kind of
Okay.
see smoke as like her brain's like overheating, trying to figure this out.
Dargo's just rubbing his head again. Just ignore him. He likes to lick things. That's the best you really need to know. That's his intelligence right there.
You just
I
said
licked
that
it.
to a
It's
cat.
mine now.
Yeah, and then she goes back to like fidgeting with her little ball. She kind of spaces out a little bit.
Dargo looks to Bombast like, yes, and it's to be expected. You're a gnome. It's not normal.
That's assuming. What are you assuming? Just because I'm small that I don't like to taste things? Wait, you're part lizard. Do you taste things? Like when you have really good food, is it flavorful or is it bland or is you just shoving nutrients in your body?
Adalre is just chuckling to herself.
I
Just let it
taste
go,
things.
Dargo.
No.
Just let it go.
No.
Just
no.
let it go,
I taste
Dargo.
things normally enough. But I don't have the inkling when I see slime to lick it. Or anything oozing from, say, a bug. And I would think it would be safe to say that most people don't either. And by people, that's broad.
So people thought I very good palate is what you're saying. I would agree. My palate is very worldly.
I told
That's
you to
good
let it
for
go,
you.
Dargo. I told you to let it go.
You did? That you did?
Why don't you come sit down and have some tea?
It tastes better than slime.
Right. Oh, I imagine it does. Which is why I don't go licking slime. Sit down next to the door, right?
Marcel would kind of like snap out of her little like zoned out in this and kind of like visibly. Oop. Okay.
Yeah. Even the cat's disgusted by that.
So, Carcel, where exactly are you from? I don't see a lot of cat folk.
Kind of. I don't typically like to talk about it, but I've been just kind of roaming.
Very well, then I won't press it. God damn it.
In short, what I'm trying to say is I haven't got that far.
So this weapon you're after just to do good for the sake of doing good?
Kind of, yeah, just to help me be able to fight evil better, I guess.
I can get
Bad
behind
guys.
that. Good a reason as any.
Dara just shrugs, continues drinking her tea.
Bombast is going to look at Carcel. It's like, so do you know if mind flayers are flammable?
Would I know that?
Either history or
roll?
nature check.
Definitely history. I have advantage. Wait, what do I have advantage for? Would they be fae, fiends, or undead?
No, aberrations.
And well, nope. That's a nat one. I have no fucking clue. Nat one for an 8.
Yep. you
Good
don't
job, you piece of shit. That's how
We
this is
don't
gonna
always
go.
scold our dice, but when we do.
So basically, Carcel's gonna go, "What's a mind flayer?" Knowing full well we've been talking about him this whole time.
Do you really not know what a mind flare is, Carcel? That we've literally been talking about for the past 15 minutes.
Oh, those mind flayers. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Are they bad?
Yes, they are.
Well, in our case, yes, they are.
They are in
They're
general.
being a problem.
Adalri just looks at him, or sorry, Dargo looks at Adalri in astonishment, like, they're always a problem. They're just bad. They're also called the lithids, and they take over people's minds.
Oh, that's not good at all.
Yeah.
I'm kind of attached to mine currently.
Dargo just holds his tongue, just doesn't even engage.
Adalri is kind of just sipping her tea, but she is kind of like making herself aware to see if like Calamar's coming back or anything like that. Any news on if he's found Oam and what they kind of need to do next.
Eventually Calamar comes back in. He looks at all of you. Yes, so do you want the good news or the worst news?
Why don't you go with the worst news first?
Why don't you just tell us both of them?
I will.
He is, but he's going to say it one before the other. And I would rather have the bad news first. Please continue, Calamar.
Oam is currently amassing a large sum of magic. When I scried in his area, he was performing a particularly complex ritual that would essentially permanently open a gate between here and another realm. And from the information I was able to gather from the different runes and other magical items he had in his area, it's not good. Have you ever heard of the Feywild?
Yes. I am from there, Calamar.
Oh. Well. That's interesting. Well, this just got a bit more.
Why is he
planning
opening a
on
portal to the Feywild?
linking Diademia to the Feywild. There seems to be a large sum of negative energy in that realm. Currently.
And the good news?
Oh, I know where he is. He's in Vagrant City.
Vagrant City. Well, then I guess that's where we need to head. And stop him from opening this portal.
The thing is, I don't know if you will all be able to do it.
Do what?
What?
Prevent him from finishing the ritual.
Well, you
Adalre
can't
is
just
going
sit
to
here
just
doing nothing.
look at Calamar and be like, "Why do you say that, Calamar?"
He has an item on him that serves as a warding. Prevents anyone from getting close unless allowed.
Is there
Well, we
any
can't just sit
way-
here and do nothing.
Well, I can.
Is there any way past this ward?
Well, no, without obtaining the item in question, which is on the person, which would prevent you from getting to it.
That's a predicament.
You said you've seen ruins. Are they like written on a wall or something?
No, they were in large masses of text, from what I could gather.
Hmm.
Plus, there was some dawdled about the room itself on the ground, and there was candles. And typical ritualistic sort.
Well, Calamar, I cannot just sit here and do nothing while Oam opens up a portal to the Feywild, which is currently not in a good state at the moment.
No, it is not. But you're going in blind and without your magical items. Are you sure you all will be able to stop him?
We have to try,
Only one way to truly find out.
because if we don't, this plane will suffer the same as the Feywilds are currently.
Well, if you all are done with your tea, shall we go then?
Yeah.
Yep, but Alray kind of looks to the group.
Sure.
Yes, I'm ready as ever.
Mira, you have the shop. Make sure it doesn't.
Oh,
We'll
do
be
I
back.
need to leave my magic stuff? Is that
I'm not leaving mine.
Does your magic stuff have anything to do with plane shifting? Mainly. I believe if I remember correctly, I believe that is this type of magic his artifact tracks.
I thought it was any magical item.
Was it?
Mhm.
Well, I ain't leaving mine, so swords are coming with me.
okay? Then I'm gonna keep mine.
Alray's just rubbing her temples.
Right. Let us go then. And he kind of like walks out of the room and heads towards the front of the shop where you all kind of entered.
And Alray sighs. You do realize he's going to sense us coming.
Well, he's got a freaking ward that can't let us anywhere near him. So I feel like it doesn't matter if he knows we're coming or not.
Alray sighs, and she goes to the fucking box. And she's gonna grab her magical items.
Okay.
And then she's gonna come back as she sheaths her frost brand rapier to her side. All right, shall we?
I'm ready.
So follow her.
Okay. I'm trying to find. Okay.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
So in the front of the shop, Calamar is waiting there. He has his kind of cloak veiled over him, and he looks at all of you. Right, well, we're going to be in Vagrant City. It's going to be busy. Just keep a low profile.
Is that a joke?
That's low. No, it's not a height joke.
Oh, because it would have been funny.
Yep. So he walks out of the shop and just.
One
And
best
Dalry follows.
Okay.
There's Dargo.
So you all into Vagrant City, and there are people kind of walking about. Some are gathered at the local shops. And as soon as you all walk out of the shop, you kind of enter out of this alleyway, almost like you walked out of a non-existent door to a wall in this alley. And Calamar looks at all of you. Do you want us to stay together or split up?
Up a lot more ground if we split
Together.
up.
Right. And he begins to illusionary script on this paper the location of where OM is currently at. And as you look at it, it kind of it's on the western side of town. One of the larger buildings in the residential district. But from, if you're judging by where you are compared to where you need to go, it's a 10-15 minute walk. Well, who's going
Dalry's gonna
with
walk.
who?
Dalry's just walking.
Yep. Bombast is gonna go up and grab Dargo's hand. You're going with me.
Great.
I guess I'll go with the Dalry. I don't know.
Right. Well, I'll follow along as well. So Adalray, Carcel, and Calamar are together, and then Dargo and Bombast are together. Roll perception checks.
I have a passive of 21. Can I just use that? Or do you want me to roll it?
It's something else.
15.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
24.
You're banished. I'm done with you.
Oh no. Perception. I can't get higher than a 20, so 8. Okay. Within the two groups, Adalray, you see a large mass of people kind of gathered around kind of like a centralized meet corner between different avenues of the different streets within Vagrant City. And Bombast, you with Dargo, you see a series of like small lights kind of being lit throughout some of the houses in the direction that y'all are going.
In what way? What do you mean?
So it's magical light, but it almost seems to like what catches your attention is like the pattern in which they're being lit, and it's in different houses, different but they're all being lit in like a order across.
And you said Adalray sees a group of people kind of just hanging out. Like what?
It's more or less a crowd. They're like looking at something.
Adalray's gonna go check out what they're looking at.
Okay. Roll a acrobatics check to try and like move your way past all of these people.
23.
Okay. You managed to get kind of close to the front, and you see why everyone's kind of gathered. There's this woman slumped over, and she's not breathing, not responsive.
I would probably be following through the crowd.
She's gonna turn around and ask one of the people in the crowd what happened.
She just fell from the sky. There was a few that tried to heal her wounds, but it seems to be too late. One of the locals has gone run to get the doctor.
Adalray's gonna cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. As you touch this individual, there isn't that pulse of life that you normally get from someone who's trying to, fight to come back. The magic kind of pushes into this body and dissipates.
You said she fell from the sky.
Yes, just from the sky.
Adalray looks up. Does she see anything in the sky?
Just sky. I mean, there's buildings around all of you and everything, but this particular area, there's nothing for her to fall down from. And it would be a mass of a jump to try and go from like a rooftop and land where she is presently. Like, there's too much street road to make that kind of leap.
Adalray just sighs and she kind of like gets up, dusts her dress off, and makes it back to Carcel and Calamar. Let's keep moving.
Around that time, you hear, "Oh, there's another one! Oh, there's another!"
Yep, let's keep moving.
So while this is going on, Bombast will look up the doggo and point out, it's like, you ever notice it's like you're being followed?
Are you speaking of this at this moment? You think we're being followed?
Well, yeah.
Okay. And Dargo's gonna like try to nonchalantly look behind him to see if he can see anyone without totally giving himself away that he's looking for someone behind him.
Roll a stealth check.
Uh, 15 plus 7. That is. What's, I don't know. It's above 20, I'm pretty sure. 15 plus 7.
22.
Yeah, thank you. Can't math.
Play D&D, they said. It'll be easy, they said.
Math is hard, y'all.
It is. Especially in this one.
When you turn around, you see a couple of cloaked figures just like walk into an alley, but they don't seem to like look in your direction. It's just a couple of cloaked figures walking into an alley.
Well, Bombast, I don't see anyone obviously following us. There were just a couple of cloaked figures who didn't seem to mind us walking into a valley, but should probably keep our eyes and senses open just in case.
That's fair. And he'll continue walking down the road.
Okay. Dexterity save Bombast.
Is
Just
it magic?
Bombast?
Oh wait, no, I don't get that. $17.
Okay. As Bombast is walking ahead, Dargo, you follow behind him, and you kind of see it first, but Bombast is able to move out of the way. This body just lands in front of the two of you, dead. Just.
Argo's gonna look up.
You're like a big dragon turkey.
A big dragon.
When it rains bodies, you find cover. And Bombast is going to get towards one of the buildings.
Argo's gonna follow him. While he's following, he's like, I don't understand. It's almost as if that person appeared out of nowhere and fell from.
Okay. I'm not saying I encourage the behavior, but sometimes you cast a spell thinking you're going to be one place and you end up not quite making it. It's more common than you think, especially when you ride around in airships. You get kind of bored and lonely. It's like, how far can you go? Make sure that you have the right trajectory and height and see if you're there.
I will
Obviously-
take your word for it.
I don't see an airship, but obviously she's practicing or something.
Well, they failed.
Perception checks?
For all of us, or
Just those two.
A natural 20.
Sorry. 17. I don't
Okay.
have any.
As Bombast is explaining this, another body you see kind of materializes in the air, falls.
Okay, now that's unusual.
I would have to agree with you. I don't know what we can do for the situation. We might as well just keep going and try to not get hit.
Yeah, stick to the walls. It's a little harder. You have a little bit more coverage. You can get in the doorways.
And Darker's just gonna keep walking.
Yep, same with Bombast.
Collectively, 16 bodies later, you two groups kind of reconvene in front of this residential district. As you approach, the air kind of like chills a bit, noticeably.
A lot of strange happenings here. You guys notice all the reigning men and women?
Hallelujah.
I was gonna say something earlier. I was like, Stacks, I don't think this is what they meant by that song.
Yeah, so Adara kind of like looks to Dargo. Oh yes, you mean the raining bodies.
Yeah.
You think it has anything to do with OM?
Well, I can't say for certain, but
I mean, that's my assumption.
he is here doing spells, trying to open a gateway, and people are dropping out of the sky. It seems to connect.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Like, why would 16 people just decide to
Better than
ram
that
themselves?
explanation for sure. He was onto something when it was one.
Adalray kind of sensing this cold, like, chill. She's gonna kind of like scan the area. Does she see anything? She doesn't see Ohm or anything, right? She just
Just colder here.
can I sense where this cold, like, arcane feelings coming from?
It seems to be coming from all around this residential area. Like as soon as y'all walked up.
Be on your guard. And Adalray's gonna walk forward.
What's the rest of it doing?
Dargo's gonna follow.
Okay.
Sounds like an idea.
Okay, so you all continue forward. The particular building that y'all are looking for has roughly 7 to 8 floors. You find it kind of off on itself as you come across. My brain's not working. This block. You come across this block and you round it, and there's this large building kind of set there. And you can definitely feel, you don't see anything, but you can definitely feel like a arcanic presence. Anyone that's been around magic knows that there's kind of like a push-pull whenever spells are being shot off. That initial spark of energy, whatever it is, draws from something, and it feels like this whole area is just permeated with that kind of magical presence.
That's a
Adalray's
lot
gonna
of
head
magic.
towards the building.
What's everybody else doing?
Same.
Dargo's gonna follow.
Okay,
Bombast
so you
is
walk up to
going.
this building. Large doors. All the windows are kind of like sealed off or blind shut on them. What would you like to do?
Check the door for.
Yeah, I was about to say
kind of
Adalray's probably
like-
gonna try to sense if there's any like arcane like wards or protection traps on the door.
Same.
Okay. Either sleight of hand or arcana checks.
That is a 23.
16.
Yes. It is very much magically sealed.
Wonder if this is the ward that Calamar was talking about.
What about the walls?
Would I have been able to
About
sense
the
if
walls.
it's just the door or if it's the whole building?
It kind of feels like it's the whole building, not just.
Yeah.
So how are we getting inside?
I do believe I've used my plane shift for the day.
Adalray is going to kind of hold out her hand and see if counterspell works.
Okay.
To kind of get rid of the protectional whatever is on the door.
Roll a DC check to see if.
What do I have to roll?
A D20 plus your charisma modifier and your proficiency bonus.
26.
Okay. As you cast counterspell, you feel that the area is freed, but only for like a small time. You can almost feel like the magic resealing itself around.
Hurry up and get in!
Trying for the door.
Okay. The door is locked, you find.
Um,
So the protectional ward is gone, and it's just a door.
From what you can tell, yes.
Someone break down this motherfucking door!
But yeah, try to shoulder the door, I guess.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Oh yeah, that's a 24.
Okay. So, Carcel, like, brunts her shoulder into this door, and the locking mechanism of it kind of, like, unhinges, and the door pops open.
And then
Let's
she's gonna
go.
Kind of pop inside. Boom, baby.
Little
look
gnome
around.
feats.
She's gonna look around to check for any imminent danger right inside. Maybe make a perception check or
who's gonna follow inside?
Sure.
I'm running my little feats in there. So
that is a 24.
Okay. At the end of the hall, where it would head up towards the stairs, you do see these wisps of black energy kind of interlaced around the walls and kind of like seeping down the stairs into this hallway area.
Y'all see that down there? It's like creepy little wispy stuff. I don't like the look of that.
From pointing out, y'all would be able to see it as well.
Does Adalray recognize this darkness from the Feywilds?
Yeah, it looks about the same.
Whatever it is, it isn't good. Be on your guard.
She'll pull her rapier out and just be ready.
And Adalray's gonna walk forward.
Okay.
You said it was dark in there, right? Stacks.
There's
Or
just
no?
like darkness at the end of the hall, but the
Okay.
room itself isn't like too terribly dark.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Dogger's gonna pull out his swords and follow along.
yeah, Bumbusta's fading into the rear of the guard, and he's going to start assembling his flinger.
Okay.
Would
As you
Carcel hear
all-
him tinkering and building that?
You would see him like moving stuff around from his pockets, attaching them different pieces to one another.
She would probably 100% get distracted by that. Oh, what are you doing? That looks fun.
Create a round
Dargo-
tube with a
Dargo
little
just-
clampling.
Dargo just pushes her and like, not now, not now.
Oh, but okay.
As you all get closer, you hear something. It starts out faint until your steps get closer to that edge where the darkness is kind of pooling. But it sounds almost like laughter.
Would Adalray recognize the laughter?
Yeah.
Is it like a female voice or a male voice?
Sounds feminine in a way.
Adalray is going to cautiously walk forward towards the room and kind of peek in.
Just darkness.
Right. And Adalray kind of like looks to the group. Well, there's only darkness in that room. And from my experience with it, it's not very good.
Can't you just dispel it? Or wait for it to end?
Would there be any like lanterns or torches or anything in this building? Anything that...
From the hallway that y'all were in, there's like torches, lanterns at every few yards.
Okay. I'd cast Mage Hand and grab one of the like lanterns and try to like take it into the room.
Okay. As soon as that mage hand with the lantern kind of goes through the threshold, it vanishes into like darkness.
That's not good. Can I still like feel my connection to the mage hand, or would it just like?
Yeah, I mean, you still sense it. You just don't know.
I'll
Like,
so like pull it back out, push it back in, pull it back out. Like, interesting. Well,
Adalray's just gonna walk into the darkness.
okay.
Oh. You gonna look at Dargo? Oh, we doing this?
It seems like we are. And Dargo's just gonna look over at his flame sword. Shindra card. It's gonna burst into flames. He's gonna walk through the darkness.
You must be popular at barbecues. Bombast walks through.
Oh, where's the thing? Carcel's gonna kind of do the same and is going to. You'll see her kind of take her rapier and like kind of run it across her forearm a little bit, and she's gonna use the Crimson Right on her sword. Well, that's not a good number to hit. Deal to myself. Taking 8 points of damage, but inflicting the right of the frozen onto her blade. And then is going to step inside.
Okay. Calamar just goes into the darkness as well. You all are maneuvering through this space. The light from your different objects doesn't seem to provide adequate sight, as it were.
Even dark vision, I'm guessing.
Yeah. However, as you're looking at your own individual person, it's almost as if you're plain as day. You can see the details in all of your features. You just can't see anyone else.
Are you guys here? Can you hear me? I'm gonna say out loud, trying to.
You hear voices as Carcel begins to talk. It's almost as if her voice is pinging from different locations.
I can hear you, but I'm not exactly sure where you are.
That's
Same.
weird. I don't like that. It's like you're everywhere and nowhere.
All right, I heard your laughter. Where are you hiding? Adare will call out into the darkness.
I'm not hiding. I'm just
What are you doing in
watching
this?
all
What
of
are you
you
doing in this plane? The Feywild wasn't enough.
No. We just got an invitation.
By Oam, I'm assuming.
Sure.
You've got an invitation, but you don't know who sent the invite.
It doesn't really matter. I'm here now.
Well, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Now, why would I do something like that?
Because I'm going to will it. Now, why don't you show yourself so we can have a conversation? I'm getting tired of your hiding games.
Okay. You want to play? And in front of you, Dalray, you'll see this humanoid entity appear. Long hair, ethereal presence. They look at you. Is this what you want?
Yes.
Does it make it easier to talk to someone?
More or less.
This one doesn't believe in such things.
And why is that?
There's no need to look at something just to speak to it. It's useless.
Adari's gonna try to read like her kind of like body language, her expression, or their expression, I should say.
And they look at you, kind of,
Dalray is more or less trying to kind of sense what their intentions are.
do a insight check.
$19.
Passive. You don't see any weapons. Currently, you don't see any show of force. They're just standing there, looking at you.
We don't see this being.
No, but you do hear the voice. And their voice comes directly to you, whereas whenever Adalray is talking, like her voice is still bouncing all over the place.
I'm gonna kind of move towards the voice then.
Okay.
Dargo will as well.
What are your intentions for this plane?
Not this one's intentions. Only the Queen's intentions matter.
Right, Midna. Then what are her intentions for this plane? I can only assume what they are.
Same thing as your plane, probably.
I'm assuming you arrived through the portal that was being cast here.
You could say that.
Where's the one who's opened it?
Upstairs.
Upstairs. Well, we would very much like to speak with him.
Well, be my guest. Oh, wait.
I would love to.
You don't know the way.
I do not.
Perhaps this will help. And they'll wave their hand, and you'll see as all of you become visible to each other in that space.
But there's still the darkness around.
Up the stairs. And they point, and the darkness peels almost unnaturally away. And you can kind of see the floor start to form, and slowly it pulls out, and you see like a flight of stairs.
Valerie doesn't say another word. She heads for the stairs.
Well, they were helpful.
Let's go, Bombast.
Following along.
Lead the way.
From that point, it's just heading up the stairs. The darkness kind of beelines you, warding off certain areas of exploration, but keeping you guided up the stairs and to the topmost floor, where this old kind of wooden door is slightly creaked open.
Adalri's gonna peek in.
And there's a lot of darkness. There's also something else. The floor almost seems wet and alive to your sights. There's kind of like a dark vicar of sinew kind of interlaced around that whole area.
Is this like the ships?
No, different. Much darker. Black.
Adalri's gonna cast Prestidigitation on the floor to kind of make a clearing on the floor so she can walk.
Doesn't seem to do anything.
Damn it. YOLO! Adalri's gonna walk in.
That's nasty. You walk in, and again, the darkness is kind of warding off large portions of this building to all of you. And there's just a door closed up ahead.
Adalri's gonna kind of put her ear up against the door to see if she hears anything.
Perception check.
15.
Nothing. I mean, the sound of the squish from people walking, and every once in a while, a blotch of black slime will kind of drip off the sides of the building, but nothing audible coming from the room.
Adalri's gonna open the door.
You open the door, and you see a series of like runes, and there's snuffed out candles, and the room's got that same kind of chill, but more prominent in here.
And Adalri will step into the room. Oh, where are you?
You don't hear anything.
Adalri's gonna keep walking forward. Oh, are you in here?
Nothing.
Do I see anything else in this room?
You see the room that Calamar kind of described to you. There's books on like this mantelpiece, candles, ritualistic runes, kind of dossled around in this circular pattern.
I guess what my next question is there a portal in this room?
There's a lot of darkness, but you don't see a portal.
Okay. Adalri is now now showing signs of frustration. As she kind of like picks up like the books and is looking through them, trying to get a clue as to where Oa may have gone and how we can get him.
Carcel would be curiously looking about too for anything interesting / anything that would be of use.
So the descriptors for the room are much like the other areas that you have come across. There's still lots of it hidden back just because the darkness is kind of perched there. But what it's allowing you to see, roll a survival check.
19.
Okay.
Would this have anything to do with like tracking fae, fiends, or undead?
No. Not currently.
That's 22.
Okay. It's almost as if something's being hidden.
Where parts of the like darkness are, I would kind of like take the blade of the rapier and kind of lightly run it through the darkness to see like if the tip of the blade just like disappears, what happens, if it's just kind of the same thing as before.
Okay. So you start to do that, and
And it is magical, if that makes any difference.
your blade goes in, and you kind of like move it around, and you hit something, and kind of like using your sense from holding the blade, kind of like rub the outlines of it, and you can tell like, okay, that's like a desk. And you all watch as Carcel is doing this, and as you get further into the room, you move your blade, and it touches something that almost kind of like gives, but it's still solid.
I'll cast Mage Hand again and try to like reach in and feel for it and see if I can grab it and like pick it up.
Okay. As you try and do that, the mage hand, like, it's just too heavy.
Aldari's gonna try to cast Sacred Flame to see if the radiant energy kind of pushes back the darkness a bit.
Okay. As you do that, the darkness kind of like coils a bit from the radiant energy being produced. And you almost see something like a hand or something on the ground.
And I'm going to kind of move closer with this radiant flame in my hand, kind of walk closer to the, I'm assuming, dead person on the floor.
Dargo's gonna walk over as well and just have his sword pointed out as like a light slash seeing if his flames from his sword will also help disperse darkness.
So we just burning it down now?
Adari isn't. The sacred flame's in her hand.
And the sacred flame doesn't produce heat or anything, right?
Not that I know of.
It's just
So
light.
like just a flame like radiance, so radiant light. Yeah.
So as y'all get closer from the darkness, they come out and they look at you, Adalray. Are you sure you want to see this?
She ignores them and continues moving forward.
The darkness pulls back, and this body starts to uncover. And you see that it is, in fact, Oam. But they're not quite dead. Their eyes are interlaced in this web-like vicar of purples and blues. Their mouth is agape. Thousands and thousands of tendrils, a spike-like liquid is radiating out of their mouth. And the rest of their body, in bits and pieces, has that similar kind of coating, webbing out and etched over them.
What happened to him?
He knew the consequences.
Of opening the portal.
Yes.
What reason would he have to open a portal to the Feywilds? What was his goal?
Well, I would say to ask him, but he seems preoccupied. Power comes in many facets.
Adalray is going to kind of kneel down and try to touch Oam.
Make a wisdom save at disadvantage.
Nine.
These web-like tendrils latch on to your hand, keeping it there at his chest, and starts to work its way up. And normally, that would be your biggest worry. However, you find that there's more to it than just tendrils. This is a connection. And the moment they start to encapsulate their way up your arm, you feel a connection, a pulse from your realm, from the Feywild. You feel its plain energy kind of weakening, dissipating, because this corruption is setting in and it's killing it. You feel the sadness, the worry, the doubt from your home, from your people. And there's countless that have already perished, and you're sure there's going to be more. And in that moment, you see them. Your mother and your father. And you see her. The queen. The ones whose memories have been latched on to your own. In a way, you know her better than you know your own parents. And as you try and get closer, just to get a look, a glimpse of, is your mother and father okay? Is your home still a home to come back to? You pull back, and you're back in the room. And that web-like entity has receded back onto Owen.
Laura kind of just like pulls her hand back, like recoils, and just like trying to regain her her calm.
What happened? Are you okay?
I'm all right. Kind of just like, I'm all right.
What's that?
Damn it. Adari is going to search Oam's person to see if there are any items on him.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I'm gonna re-roll that with my luck. Much better. 19.
Oh, okay. Many of the pockets and portions of Oam that you like stick your hand into are filled with this dark vigor, and you kind of like take your hand out. But in his hand, there's this orb that he's kind of clutched his grip on, and you kind of like peel back his fingers enough to loosen the object. And there's just like this orb in your hand.
Can I sense any magical items?
Do a Arcana check.
Dirty 20.
The item in your hand is giving off magical properties.
But I can't sense Dargo's magical weapons, or Carcel's, or mine, or Bumbast's.
Not from what you can tell.
Right. Do I recognize this orb, or?
Nope. It's just a crystal ball orb.
Adalre is going to kind of turn to the group and show them this orb. Do any of you know what this is?
With Dargo.
You can roll an Arcana check, but the DC's kind of high for
Alright.
for my boy Dargo.
It's I have a -1, so.
Okay.
I'll examine it too if I can.
I got a 17.
Okay.
I rolled a 17 on the die, so that's a 24.
Okay. So Calamar speaks up, and you would be able to confirm this. My brain's not working. Oh God. Carcel, sorry. That appears to be a crystal ball of true seeing.
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
I'm going to try to use it.
You attempt to,
This
but
darkness.
it isn't responding to you currently.
Hmm.
It would assume that you would need to attune to it over time.
Right. All right. Well, I'm probably just gonna pocket the orb then.
Okay.
But that's all I find on Oam, huh?
Yep, from his person.
Is there still darkness, like, in certain parts of the room, or?
Mm-hmm.
Continuing with this, the radiant energy I have in my hand, I'm gonna continue searching the room. See
Also,
if there's anything else.
did the flames from Dargo's sword do anything to the darkness? I never really covered that.
Not really. Similarly before, you yourself in your person area would be able to see just like darkness around it, but it didn't like cause it to recoil back or anything else. And as you're looking around the room, Adalre, you know, y'all are really looking in the wrong place.
Maybe you can just get rid of this and make things easier. And then we can get out of your hair, you know?
Don't think I want to do that.
Of course.
Well, then, would you like to give us a hint on where we should be looking? If we're looking in the wrong spot.
Did you all notice something when you got here?
Yes, falling bodies, actually.
Do you know where those falling bodies came from?
No, do you?
Yes. From the
Are you going to tell
Feywild.
us?
Oh, what's wrong? This one? Strike a chord?
Who's sending the bodies?
The bodies are for those that refuse to abide by the new rules. The Queen doesn't like dishonorary subjects.
Adalre says nothing.
Never met this queen, but I already don't like her.
You can blame Queen for making her.
Stack's over here stealing my big bads.
Hey, I'm just making them big batter.
Mm.
You know, Princess, there's a war brewing. You might want to make sure you're on the right side.
I'll keep that in mind. Is that all you have to tell us? Are you going to let us go on our merry way?
Sure. Oh, one more thing. We have your brother. And with that, the darkness fades out of the room, sucking back into Mio. Or, oh, I'm sorry. And as it dissipates and the remainder flickers, fade off, Olam stirs.
Oh, that can't be good.
Adalri's kind of just standing there.
And before long, he gets up, sees the orb in your hand, and kind of like begrudgingly stares at all of you. Did it work?
Did what work?
The portal, the gateway. Is it here now?
You have 5 seconds to explain yourself.
I believe I have a little bit longer than that.
1.
So it did work.
2.
What's wrong?
3.
What was the purpose, OM?
Power, of course.
For who?
Myself. So I'm no longer bound to this body.
Does not seem to have worked well for you.
Are you certain?
No? But you still look like you're in that body, so...
Adari is going to take a deep breath. Where is the dragon artifact that you had in your possession?
It's not here. It's on the Feywild Plain.
Of course.
Well, I'm gonna need you to go get it.
It's a bit beyond my reach there. I gave it to the new ruler, the queen, so that she can have its power. And in exchange, immortality. Has a nice ring to it.
Then you are of no use to me.
Well, the weather seems nice. I do hope you all have a good day.
Adari just leaves.
I thought we wanted to kill him. And he just follows Adalri out.
Even if we wanted to kill him, we can't.
So, as you all are heading back out of this...
Before leaving, would there be anything else in the room that I would notice once the darkness faded?
Aside from
curiosity, we
Oum,
definitely-
it was mostly just the different pieces of furniture that was within the room that was left.
And like you said, scattered books and stuff.
Yeah.
Just out of spite, she's gonna like grab a book at random. I'm taking this in her pack and walk out. Like, yeah.
God damn it. But yeah, as Adare kind of walks out of the building, she's gonna kind of just look up to the sky. And just try to basically more or less kind of like take all the information that she's gathered, trying to kind of piece everything together and try to make a new plan of attack. All while trying not to like let the vision that she saw, the news of her brother and her parents, and just knowing the fact that her people are dying, not try to cloud her moves.
Okay. What's everybody else
Just-
doing?
Get out there. Probably stand next to Adare and be like, are you okay?
I'm all right. Yourself?
I'm as good as I can be with evil crazies about. If there's anything I can do to help.
Well, when I find out a way, I will let you know. We need a new plan of attack.
I agree. Maybe Calamar could help.
Not only Kalamar. I'm wondering if she's done with that damn list yet.
List?
Ooh.
Yes, there was a tiefling librarian that I ran into. She said she was going to make me a list of the dragon artifacts. Perhaps there's another item I can use.
Argo having shielded his swords and walking up, we could try looking for her if you want. Wasn't she traveling here with Fang?
I do believe so, yes.
Well,
We want to split up and try to find this person?
Would they have gotten here already?
I don't know. I don't know how much time has officially passed here whilst we were in Calamar's shop, and
Yes, we have been doing a lot of traveling between planes lately.
well, if your intent is to head back to the Feywild, that can be arranged. However, from the sound of it, there's a big fight up ahead.
You're absolutely right. But
Are
before
you-
we go into that fight, I want to be absolutely prepared.
Prepared we can do. But we're going to need more people. Does anyone have anyone at their disposal? Extra soldiers at the fort, extra friends for support? Anyone?
Well,
Well, Lord Zotair does owe me a favor. Perhaps we can drop him a visit.
he also gave us command over Fort Demon's Creek. We can always use that. Probably the soldiers there. If anything, it's at least a place to start at the moment.
Well, then I guess we should make our way back to Fort Demon's Creek. But I do need to find... Oh, I can't remember her name. Do I have it written down somewhere? I do need to find this librarian.
Oh, Falamir, I think it is.
Yeah, Falamir.
Falamir. Okay.
I'll go ask around, see if
You do know that last you checked, her, Fang, and Akris were somewhere in Vagrant City.
That is the city we're in now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so I guess Adalre is going to start looking for the nearest tavern.
Okay.
there be a library
was gonna help.
here that she might be interested in.
There's libraries, there's magic shops, there's pretty much anything you can think in Vagrant City. The only downside is this is technically Triperian Empire territory. So you all see just through the streets, they're mostly busy now that there's a bunch of dead elves and other people throughout the city. But there is a large guard presence. Dargo, you probably would recognize some of their ranks as being members of the Triperian Empire.
And are these bad to us?
Technically, they are at war with the people of Uvain, and they have been at war since the king's daughter passed away.
Do I recognize like what are the ranks mixed, or are they primarily like
Yeah, there's
high
like a
ranking?
couple of higher ranks kind of issuing orders out to the younger recruits to, quickly dismiss of the bodies so that they're not out and about in the streets.
Would there, I'll ask if Dargo knows. Well, I'll ask any of them. Would there be any chance that, a Tabaxi would be among their ranks? Would it be suspicious if I walked up in one of their uniforms to talk to one of them?
Roll a history check, Dargo, with advantage because you should know.
Okay, 14.
Okay. From what you know, from your time with the Empire, there's very few races that are kind of centralized on one side or the other. For instance, Dragonborn, while originally of the Uvain people, when the Triperian Empire arrived with their advanced weaponries, a lot of them defected over to Uvain. So the only other Dragonborn that are out there are usually nestled in mountains, kind of secluded from civilization. When it comes to Tabaxi, however, many of their race, not all, but many, are in direct conflict with the Triperian Empire. So it's almost, you've never seen a Tabaxi on the Triperian side.
Mm. Stars look over to Carcel. Well, most of the Tabaxi are at war with the Triperian Empire. I have heard of a few in the ranks, but I imagine with those being so few, they're going to be kind of known, so it might not be pertinent to try and infiltrate their ranks. Also, I cannot go with, being as I was a high-ranking officer, those high-ranking officers are probably going to recognize me. And Dargo starts to kind of shimmy away and try to not be.
I'm gonna hide my giant dragonborn self.
Well, she's gonna say, "Well, I only asked because of this," and as she says that, and snaps her fingers, her normal clothing would shift to just have a different appearance. I have this armor that can kind of do this, and I was gonna try to see if I can just walk up and get some information, maybe, but
passively, you do see, Dargo, a couple of guards talking up ahead, maybe 50 yards, nothing more. And they're kind of looking in y'all's direction.
okay.
We have seemed to attract some attention. I recommend we vacate the main streets.
Probably not a bad idea.
And he motions to the two guards nonchalantly, just trying not to make it obvious to the guards that he's motioning, hey, those two dudes there are seeing us.
I see you seeing me, seeing you seeing me. We're gonna go this way.
Captain, is that you? Captain! Hey, old Captain!
Dargo just doesn't act like he hears them and just starts walking off in an alley.
It's not even the guards. It's this complete other person. And what you thought, they're calling out your rank for a second. They look at Bombast. Captain Bombast, is that you?
Dargo's had a sigh. You ever told me you were a captain?
Well, sometimes they blow up, so it depends. Today I am.
So it is you, Captain. Captain Bombast.
Yes.
What brings you to Vagrant City? Are you getting an airship?
Well, my last one's kind of out of commission, so I'm in search of a new one.
I heard the last one exploded.
Yes. And that's all we know.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Have you been to the airfield recently?
Not yet. I got distracted. They started mentioning some magical items, so I was like, "Ooh, I got to take a peek." Then they showed me this one box that is just an ordinary box, but you can't open it.
Box?
Yeah.
Dargo just rubs his head again this.
Box is a 6-sided area. It looked really nice, but you couldn't open it. So what's inside the box if you can't open it? See, now you know
Everything
why I
could
was
be nothing.
interested.
Yeah, it's definitely a conundrum.
And Dargo just keeps oh god, not another one.
The person talking to me, what does he look like?
Young halfling, male, scruffy hair, kind of a bit of smudge and things on his nose. Looks, not that you want to profile, but looks to be like a mechanic worker for airships.
I haven't really been here that often. Where exactly are the airfields? So,
Oh, you can't miss it. It's just down the blocks, a few there. Go up that flight of stairs and ride the trolley up, and you'll see it.
ooh, trolley. Haven't
It's
ridden those.
not as fancy a trolley as I thought. I thought the same thing too when I first heard it.
Oh.
It's kind of like a stand-on disc, and it just lifts you
Um,
up there.
I would have preferred a wooden trolley. Never know if you're gonna get there.
Do you want me to show you?
Let me see if my friends have any other business, and then I will escort myself with you. And he'll look to Adalre, Dargo, and Carcel.
Oh no,
So-
Adari's gone.
Okay.
She already walked off.
Well, I gotta go see about a ship, so maybe I'll catch you guys in a few, or unless you want to go look at boat stuff.
That does sound very interesting. But
Wait until
I'm
you
gonna-
see the engines.
hopefully we can see that later. But I think I'm going to help find this librarian person.
I'm going to pass as well. The less chances I have of running into Triperian, the better.
Why is that?
Because I defected.
Okay, say no more. Goes and shoulders the half and starts walking away after hearing that.
And I'm gonna start looking at libraries, like asking, like librarians potentially.
Dargo's gonna go with Carcel and Hope because he's gonna.
Trying
assume that there's
obviously
gonna
to
be-
avoid any patrols or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, he knows at least what Falamir looks like, though he still does not know her name.
Okay. Dargo
no one ever told
and stealth checks from Carcel and Dargo, and then D20 rolls from Adalre, Carcel, and Bombast.
The 21st
14.
check.
20 for stealth. Okay, y'all are pretty. Well, you're pretty stealthy. I don't know what Dargo is. 14, you said, Adalre?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Bombast, what did you get?
Oh my god.
It's just a straight D20, right?
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
I got
Okay.
25.
Oh, okay. 25 for stealth. What was your D20 roll, Carcel?
Oh, you needed 7.
Okay,
I'm gonna luck
Adalre.
that. Hold on. I'm gonna
Oh.
luck that.
You're gonna luck the D20.
You want to luck that for a placement
It's just
roll?
to figure out
What
who's
is that
going
for?
first for me to figure out
Oh,
story-wise
never
beats.
mind. Okay.
It's not
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna luck that. I need to go first. Gotta read some
Don't like
books.
Well,
I mean, I got plug. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, 7.
Adalre, with your mind kind of where it's at presently, you're walking through the streets of Vagrant City, and all the faces of people that you're passing is just kind of like blurring as you try and center yourself back to your like neutral headspace. What's going on in your brain? What are you thinking about?
Adalre just wants to get back to the Feywild. She wants to save her people. She wants to save her family. And the artifact that was supposed to help her be able to do that is she can't get a hold of it at the moment. She needs to try to find another way to get enough power to go back to the Feywild and defeat Midna to save her home.
So as you're walking through the streets, catching glimpses here and there of, you know, bodies being hauled off, you stop and see this tavern up ahead. You walk in, there's music playing. People are here kind of enjoying themselves. It's about 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Some people are just getting off work. You make your way up to the bar, and this goblin woman comes and looks at you. Ah, yes, dearie. What can I get ya?
I'm hoping information, actually.
Ooh, information. About what?
Yes. I'm looking for somebody.
Oh, there's quite a few that come through.
A blue tiefling woman. She was a librarian. Went by the name of Falamir. Was traveling with a lizard folk and a drow. He was a drow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And a drow.
Oh. Yes, actually. They were here this morning for breakfast. Ordered quite a large meal. There was almost a disturbance, but they left with some guards. You know, back to the castle, I imagine.
Why were they taken by guards?
Didn't say. They were just off at their table, and when I came to give them their refills, they were all gone.
Do you know what the disturbance was?
Well, whenever guards, you know, hang out by a table, it kind of draws attention. Sucks the life out of the...
Ah, I see. So yes, that was okay. All right. Well, they were brought to the castle. Where exactly is the castle?
Oh, well, it's at Triperian, of course. Not here, I mean. This is just Vagrant City, but it is close. Well, by airship, if you go that way. They did seem in a bit of a hurry. The guards, not the others that you mentioned.
I see. And she'll kind of give the goblin woman a gold piece. Well, thank you for your time.
You
And
sure you don't need anything, dear?
no, just information. Thank you. And she kind of bows slightly before kind of turning on heel and leaving.
And around that time, Dargo and... Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you don't memorize names. Carcel, y'all make it to the library. There's a gnome kind of stacking books up on really high shelves. They're walking up the ladder, and you see them kind of like enchant a book to float up to them and levitate, and they grab it, and then like they push another spell, and the ladder kind of like shifts down a bit, and they place it in its right spot. But eventually they come down and walk their way over. Ah, yes. Can I help you with anything?
Yes. Hi. We were looking for what was it? The tiefling woman.
The tiefling, yeah,
It was
blind.
the librarian in another city, I guess, or something that
Yeah.
was traveling here with. Some
She was a librarian in Tahale. Yeah, she was traveling with a lizard folk.
Ah, yes,
And-
yes. The grumpy one.
Yeah.
What did you need to know?
Just seeing if they stopped by, if you knew where they might have gone.
They just got some books and paid for them and was on their way.
When was that? How long ago?
Yesterday afternoon, I believe.
Okay. Dargo's gonna look at Crystal. Well, should probably find a Dollar. Fang always did like his drink. She might have more luck at the tavern.
Make a
Lead on.
perception check, Dargo.
$11.
Just on the way out, your eye kind of like glances at a bit of parchment, one of the crier papers, and the date on it. It's a bit weird. It's about a month out from where you would imagine the dates to be.
Like it's a month past, or
Yeah.
Is this okay? That's disconcerting. That parchment there says it's, and he spews off the date, whatever date it is. That's about a month after we left for Calamar's shop.
oh, and you didn't spend a month.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Oh, that is curious.
It only felt like a few days at least.
Curious indeed.
And he's gonna, with that trifling news, words fail me, but yeah, he's gonna continue on his way and find a dollar.
Is it just like
Okay.
a free flyer that you can grab?
Yeah,
Or
it's
would
just
it be,
like
pinned to something.
it's just like earlier today's news, so it's old news at this point. So it's in like the discard bin.
Yeah, she'll grab it and like pocket it.
And for you, Carcel, the dates match. Like, you're not missing a month of your life.
It's kind of what I figured. Okay. So yeah, she's gonna take it and walk on with Dargo.
Okay. Bumbast. Calamar decided to go with you because the others kind of split off before you could figure out which direction they were in. The halfling kind of like leads you to where the airship docks are. You all make it to that trolley area, and you just stand there as it siphons you up this trail to the top, and once you clear to the upper area, it's almost as if the city kind of subsides a bit, and you see all of these different old airships, newer models, ones that you haven't even dreamed of. The type of airship that they have is much different to the ones that you've seen back in Scion City. However, these seem to have a different operating power source than the ones that you all use. See, I told you there's so many of them.
This is great. I kind of enjoy being above the cities.
You really need to get back in the sky, Captain. I'm sure it misses you.
I miss it too. I don't miss the storms. Those get kind of rough.
Sky storms doesn't seem very inviting for airships. What type of ships did you captain, Bombast?
I'll basically start going through this. I don't know, out of character what they would be, but he'd start from the first one and start listing off each and every one.
Okay.
And if it's still in commission, he would say commissioned. If it's gone, blown up, destroyed, or decommissioned, he would say decommissioned.
Okay. And from what you described to Calamar and Plank, who is the halfling, all of these ships that you've flown are steam powered, which is a renewable energy source, rather than the iridium powered airships that the Triperian side of things uses, which is a consumable fossil fuel type from Dragon Bones, essentially. Well, it seems like you have a lot of tricks up your sleeve, Bombast.
Why? Did you see something?
Well, I just didn't know you were a captain.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, family wants you to learn one thing and you learn a couple other things. You just kind of pick things up on the way.
But you're currently without a ship.
Well, yeah, they're not cheap.
True.
Now, if I had a patron, you can get one of the fancy ships, we can go cruising, and then you can charge people for like trips, and it's like a vacation, and you make money that way.
I don't know about patronage, but I might be able to find you a ship.
Yeah, let's go see what they got.
And as you kind of like go down the line, there's different ones. There's ones that are actually like manned and stocked, and owned by different captains. And then there's a certain fleet of airships that are for sale. But as you go through all of them, are all of these iridium powered? You would think they would have figured out a different way.
Not everybody's smart. The iridium actually keeps them, it gives them a lot of power, but I do just fine with the steam.
Well, does any of them stand out to you? Do you prefer larger ships or smaller ships? And before you say anything, that is not a size analogy.
I wasn't thinking about it this time, but thanks for bringing it up.
Sorry.
It's always good to point it out. Glad we had this chat. he's going to be peeking around and viewing. His taste would be more in the not necessarily small, but mobile, but with deck space to have cannons and could be made war ready if something went bad.
Okay. So medium to large-ish, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
You look around at all the new ships, and there's a couple that kind of check most of the boxes. But as you go to look at the price, the amount of platinum that they ask for is just astronomical. Like, you've never seen that much platinum in one space, let alone forfeiting it over immediately to purchase a ship. Perhaps we might have to go a roundabout way to get to you a ship. I mean, you just need to acquire one, correct?
That's correct. We can figure out everything after that.
Well, perhaps we should try and find the others, and I think I have a couple of contacts we might can get in contact with here in Vagrant City.
I mean, worst case, we can probably just hire ferry. I know a couple people, but
Well, yeah, but ferry ships have very few get up and go.
exactly, and it's probably best that they don't know I lost my last ship. They haven't heard about it yet.
Well, we'll just keep it a secret for now.
All right. You know, I knew I'd like you, Calman.
Well, Captain, I gotta go start my shift here soon, but it was really nice seeing you. Take care of yourself, okay?
Good to see you, Plink. Maybe we'll cross paths again soon.
Yeah, hopefully. I'll catch you later. And he like waves as he's heading off.
Bombast will wave and start heading back towards the trolley to get back to the city proper and figure out where everybody else is.
Calamar will follow. Once y'all get down to the bottom, Carcel and Dargo are kind of headed to that area, and you see them. You see them as the trolley's kind of like in that awkward position of we're moving too slow. We could get there quicker if we just got off this thing, but we're also gonna die if we fall off. So it finally like sets in, and the two of them walk up to the both of you. Were you able to get any good information?
Oh, we found out they stopped by the library, but nothing beyond that. Oh, we also found out something interesting about the date, apparently, for these guys anyway.
The
Yeah.
date.
He looks at Bombast. It has been a month since we first went to Calamar's shop.
And she'll pull out the little like flyer. This is today's date, which is normal to me, but he had apparently not passed through all these days like all the rest of us.
Bumbast, make a perception or investigation check.
Got a 19 with investigation.
Okay. As Carcel is holding up that flyer to you, something catches your attention in one of the articles, as your eyes kind of like skim over it. And in kind of like small print, it says, victory at Demon's Crest. and it goes into like a small article about how the Triperian Empire has attacked and overtaken the fort that you were just
Was
in.
just at before we went to
Calamar shop?
Calamar shop.
Yeah, that's the place that
Okay.
basically, yeah.
Well, we missed a whole war, or at least a battle. Normally, it takes longer than a month.
What? What do you mean?
Triperian has Demon's Crest. He just kind of points at the letter. It's like, didn't you read it?
Dargo rips it out of Garcelle's hand and looks at it. He's like, no, not past the startling revelation of the date.
And
He
as
reads
you're
it,
skimming
and
over
he just-
it, yeah, it just tells
He
you
just
more.
crumples it. Just hands it back to Garcelle, and then it's crumpled for.
Just grab it and just kind of playing with it between your palms.
Well, there goes that idea of getting our help from there. Did you enjoy your tour, at least, Bombast? As
Well,
Dargo's just
it wasn't
blowing
really a
past.
tour, but I got to saw all these cool ships. Now, granted, I'm not a big fan of the engine type. I tend to like the steam powers, but they had some really sleek vessels up there. And if you are the secret prince of your own country, I have an offer you can't refuse.
Can't say that I am.
Damn it.
At least I don't know it yet.
Well, it only takes a small fortune.
What, to get an airship? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, pretty much.
How much we talking?
I'm not sure your head can math that high.
Just give me a number without math. How hard is that, dumbass?
I will give him out the length of the number, but in single digit increments only. So I'm not sure how many zeros are at the end of that, but
Roughly 10 or more.
Yeah. Definitely don't have access to that.
4
Thanks.
zeros? Jesus Christ. Billion? Trillion? Something platinum? Fuck.
but Calamar came up with a great idea. I mean, we really don't need to buy one. We just need to acquire one.
Are there any owned by the Triperian?
I'm sure there are, but you really want to go up against a nation? I was thinking like some little farmer who just happened to inherit one.
No, I'd rather not take it from some poor innocent farmer. I'd rather take it from the Empire, so it's one last airship that they can use. And we're all, in case you forgot, I'm already up against the Empire, so it's no difference to me.
Okay, so we need to find one that Triperian has that can be singled out, we can get a hold of, and it's not going to blow up.
Preferably.
Yeah, in my experience, exploding isn't a great option.
Makes the flight shorter.
Yeah, but also
I imagine the landing's a bit rough.
you also
Oh,
don't
yes.
necessarily make it to your destination. So
All right. Enough hubbubaloo of exploding airships. Let's go find Adalray. and see what she has uncovered, if anything.
Adalre, as you're heading towards just like a tavern or some area to hopefully rest for the night, or, you know, figure out what all of your next plans will be, roll a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
I didn't like the sound of that. I didn't like the sound of that, DM. What was that?
You walk past a block. You walk past another block. There's people playing. There's people walking to and fro. And you can see a tavern maybe like 100 yards from where you're at, just like at the opposite end. And as you continue to go in that direction, something reaches out and grabs you and pulls you into this alleyway. And your mind goes into a stir until you see who it is. And he covers your mouth until you can collect yourself before removing his hand. And you see that it's Baston Alsatian, also previously known as Vladimir Riviere. Princess?
You better have a very good reason why you're here.
You and your friends are in danger.
My apologies, but what else is new?
Now is
What do
not
you
the
mean?
time to be coy, Princess. Do you know where they're at currently?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Well, let's find them before they do.
They?
And he starts to head out the alleyway, and he stops. And he turns and he looks at you. You haven't heard. They're here. Creatures from the Feywild. They appeared about 2 weeks back. Where have you been, Princess?
On a rescue mission.
Right. Well, it would appear that we need to go rescue your friends. And without saying anything else, he just walks out the alley, and instead of heading towards the tavern, he heads back in the direction that you came from.
She's gonna follow after.
During this time, as the four of you are trying to locate Adalre, you hear marks of screaming and terror around the next block. And as you come across the sound of it, because it was the next step regardless, you see these creatures. They're somewhat humanoid, but most of their skin is covered, and their eyes kind of glow from the cloaks that they wear, and their hands have elongated fingers, almost claw-like. And it's about 6 or 7 of them.
Are these Fae? Can I do like a check to see if I would recognize them?
Do a nature check with...
They're Fae fiends.
Yeah,
undead,
with
I would
advantage.
get advantage. 22.
Okay. You've seen creatures like this before, although they're not normally native to this area. Carlis. Or Carcel. We're going to get there eventually. They're darklings. And as you all look at them, they have the hearts of at least 7 or 8 townsfolk in their hands. And they're like biting into it, ripping at the organ flesh. And they all look at you,
Yes,
the
those
4
are
of you.
darklings.
And that's where we're going to end it.
Can't fight them. I got 3 luck and 2 inspo that I have.
Right? You know, like,
You shouldn't have saved it. You should use that luck
What was I
on...
gonna use them on?
Well, thank you everybody for stopping by. Liv was ready. She was
Yeah.
ready.
Ah!
same.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Thought it wasn't any funny. Like, at least now 2 episodes.
I was
Well.
definitely ready.
Y'all know what y'all going into next episode.
Do we get to keep our luck and inspo?
No, but hopefully these generous people will come back and gift it again.
Yeah.
Come back, because I'm ready to fight some shit.
But file it away because the next episode of Tales of Diademia will be next month. So let that brew for what it means.
So we're gonna forget everything again.
Yep, you're gonna forget everything, and then we're gonna have to
Mhm.
be like, oh, roll for initiative. Woo! But yeah,
Because I'll be waiting.
thank you everybody for hanging out. I am not sure what the next episode that we're gonna air is. I think it's actually Legends of Noia now that Paul moved his. So we have Legends of Noia the 18th, and then another Rise of Sage Mist on the 21st. We got Diademia Aftermath on the 22nd, and then Final Fantasy on the 29th. So we have a couple of more things scheduled for the rest of this month to hopefully get you all through. Be sure to stop by on those lovely dates. If you don't know what day those are, aside from the day itself, be sure to hit up the Discord, hit up the Instagram. We try our best to keep you updated with the schedule so that you all know when you can be here with us lovely people. Other than that, I don't really have anything else. Next month is going to be fun. We're going to have our first donation drive for a charity event. We are going to be donating to Extra Life for Kids, so be sure to come by for that. I think it's going to be a 4-day event because I'm going to try and break it up by seasons, so that'll like change the terrain that everyone's fighting on, which will be fun. But the cool thing about that, which we're going to have more staff meeting notes to kind of chime in on everything, but the cool thing about that, it's level 20 matches, so you make a level 20 character and you just go ham. And with the donation charity list, there will be ways for you to help out your best champion and or I forget what I call them. It's like the Japanese form of soldier, but senchis or something like that. Anyways, you can help or hinder your fellow friends, and then all that money will go get contributed towards Extra Life for Kids. So it'll be a way for us to, you know, rabidly attack one another while also doing it for a good cause. But it's not every day that everyone gets to use the level 20 character, so it's going to be fun. There are certain rules, so if you want to join in, be sure to hit up the Discord, look at the rules, figure out what you want to make, and then go from there. But yeah, we are going to end it. We will see you all later. Have a good day. Bye. Oh wait, not be right back. Ending.